A lot of students are often confused between whether to choose a master's degree for higher education or to choose an MBA. Now, to solve that dilemma, I've picked to explain the educational journey of Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. Now, he is someone who pursued both master's and MBA at different points in his career. So let's dive in and try to understand how each of these degrees have helped him progress in his career. The educational journey of Satya Nadella. Now, he pursued his bachelor's in electronics and communications engineering from Manipal Institute of Technology. Back in the day, it was called Mangalore University. Now, soon after his bachelor's, he went on to pursue his master's in computer science from University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee. Now see, you can say that electronics engineering to computer science, he made a branch shift. Yeah, these are closely related fields. You have some fundamentals of computer science in EC degree as well. And back in the day, that was enough to get a master's in computer science. Now, soon after his master's, he went on to work at Sun Microsystems in 1990. So see, because he pursued a master's in computer science, he was able to work as a software engineer or a software developer at Sun Microsystems. Now, he did that from 1990 to 1992. And after that, he went into Microsoft. This is from 1992 to 1995. He kept on working at Microsoft in a very technical role within the computer science field. In 1995, while working at Microsoft, he again applied for an MBA at University of Chicago Booth and he got in there. So for 2 years, that is from 1995 to 1997, he worked at Microsoft. At the same time, he also pursued his MBA part-time, which is like pretty common in the USA to pursue part-time MBAs. Majority of working professionals do that. So from 1995 to 1997, he pursued his MBA from one of the top institutes, MBA schools in the world. And after that, he continued his work at Microsoft and slowly progressed into leadership roles. His first leadership role was as the Vice President of Microsoft Central, that is in 1999. This is just 2 years. He graduated from his MBA in 97, and by 1999, he became the Vice President of Microsoft Central. That's a division in Microsoft. And from there, he took up many vice president roles. He led many major, business acquisitions. Like he helped Microsoft acquire Nokia, and he did many other things. And slowly, over a period of 18 years, he progressed into becoming the CEO of Microsoft. And now, in 2014, he became the CEO of Microsoft, and it's been 10 years since he has taken that role. So the master's degree that Satya Nadella pursued helped him get a job in a related field. So essentially what a master's degree does is it gives you depth in the field that you want to specialize in. For example, let's say you pursued bachelor's in electrical engineering and you want to pursue master's in electrical engineering. So the master's coursework will be an extension of your bachelor's coursework at a much advanced level, and will also let you specialize in a subdomain within, say, electrical engineering. You can specialize in power engineering, you can specialize in optics, you can specialize in embedded systems, etc. This same applies pretty much to all fields, even if you are in biotechnology, biomedical, mechanical, civil, finance, English literature, whatever field you take, a master's degree will give you the advanced and depth skills in that particular area. Now, many MNCs across the world, many big organizations need people with advanced skill sets, right? They are willing to pay much higher salaries compared to bachelor's degree students in order to do advanced jobs within their field. So that's what a master's degree outcome would be for you. Also remember, if you want to pursue, let's say, a PhD, then master's will also be a good foundation for a PhD degree, especially for those who want to get into research and development or pursue a career in academics. Now, if you reflect back at Satya Nadella's journey, post his master's degree, he pursued 5 years of work in a technical field. And after 5 years is when he chose to pursue an MBA in order to transition into leadership roles. Now, essentially what an MBA does is it gives you a solid understanding of various nuances how businesses function, right? It has coursework in marketing, finance and accounting, which is very important, in project management, in entrepreneurship, in business ethics, etc., etc. So in an MBA, you can choose to pursue all these courses and also specialize in a certain domain based on what your interests are. Now, the career opportunities post an MBA are also very diverse. You can get into management consulting, you can get into investment banking, you can get into leadership roles like CEO, CFO, COO, etc. Based on the amount of experience you have and at which point you are in your career, you can get into such kind of roles. You can become a project manager like Satya Nadella did, and many other job roles like an entrepreneur, etc. So in summary, an MS degree helped Satya Nadella in getting core technical jobs, obviously with much higher pay compared to his bachelor's, and an MBA helped him transition into leadership roles, which eventually led him to become the CEO of Microsoft. Now, here are some key points that you should note that will help you choose whether you should take an MS or an MBA. Number one is educational background. Now, to pursue an MS in certain field, you should have education background that is relevant to that field. Let's say you want to pursue an MS in biomedical engineering, you need to have a bachelor's in biomedical engineering or a related field. Whereas for an MBA, you can come from diverse backgrounds. You can come from an engineering background or an arts background or an accounts background. Whatever background that is, you can apply for an MBA. When it comes to work experience, for an MS degree, you need not have any work experience. 0 to 2, 3, 4 or 5 years of work experience is also fine. There is no hard requirement for work experience. But when it comes to an MBA, on an average, you need 4 to 5 years of work experience to make into good schools. Also, here's the catch. See, you need some sort of work experience, some sort of basic foundation of how the work environment is, how businesses function, etc. Some sort of foundation in order to use the MBA coursework to get into further leadership roles. So that's why an MBA schools look at people with 4 to 5 years of work experience. When it comes to tuition fee, a master's degree can cost you anywhere between $25,000 to as high as $70,000 US. Now, this depends on the kind of universities you're applying to. Public universities, low-cost public universities can cost you less and can also give you scholarships and assistantships. So, overall cost can be much lesser, as low as $25,000 or even lesser. And if you're pursuing masters in elite universities, like the top 10 universities, they end up costing you much higher, on the $70,000 range. When it comes to an MBA, this degree is slightly expensive than master's degree. It can cost you anywhere between $60,000 US to as high as $250,000 US. So MBA is a much more expensive degree. Now, when it comes to testing requirements, a master's degree abroad usually requires GRE. Of late, it has been made optional, so GRE is not a hard requirement. Whereas when it comes to an MBA, you either need GRE or GMAT to get through the admission process. It is pretty much required for 90%, 95% of all the MBA programs. Now, English proficiency tests like IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, etc. are required by both these degrees. Course duration wise, a master's degree is anywhere between 1 to 1.5 years long. See, usually it is a 2 years degree, but many students finish up their master's degree within 1.5 years. In countries like Germany, sometimes your master's degree could be as long as 3 years, but in majority of the countries, a master's degree can be wrapped up in 1.5 or 2 years max. When it comes to an MBA, MBAs have 1-year programs and 2-year programs. The most common program is the 2-year MBA program, but many universities these days have started offering 1-year MBA programs as well. When it comes to course toughness, an MS degree is a relatively easier kind of degree to pursue. Usually per semester you'll have about 2 to 3 courses to pursue. So weekly you'll have maximum 2 to 3 classes. Rest of the time is free time where you can allocate to assignments and other things as well. Whereas an MBA degree is a very rigorous course. You have a lot of course load per semesters, and apart from coursework, you have a lot of tough assignments. You'll have a lot of group project works, etc. So compared to an MS, it's a much more tight-packed and fast-paced kind of degree. So those are the essential metrics that you need to know before you choose which degree you want to pursue. Now, these are not hard rules. For example, you can pursue an MS degree even if you have 5, 6 or 7 years plus work experience, because if you want to get into a technically inclined role, then you can pursue an MS. You don't have to necessarily pursue an MBA. When it comes to MBA also, in some countries 2 years, 3 years work experience also goes. It also depends on how much you have achieved within those 2-3 years. So these are not hard rules, but these are some things that apply to majority, 80 to 90% of the population. These rules apply. Now I want to end this video by mentioning a hybrid kind of degree, or a hybrid of both masters and MBA degrees that have been coming up in the last 10 to 15 years. Some of the examples of such degrees are masters in business analytics, masters in information management or information systems, masters in management, masters in engineering management in the USA especially, etc. Now these degrees are a good mix of technical knowledge and business knowledge, which are being in demand within different companies across the world. So if you're someone who has 0 to 2 or 3 years work experience, and you don't want to wait for 5-6 years to get into an MBA, but you want to already transition into a managerial kind of role, then these degrees will help you get into such kind of roles early into your career. So I hope that gave you some clarity of what kind of role an MS degree plays and an MBA degree plays in your career. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment them below. Over the past 10 to 15 years, our team has helped a lot of students get into top MS, MBA, PhD programs as well. So if at all you are interested, you are looking to make that career transition, do reach out to us. We'll also do some sort of career counseling for you to pick the right coursework based on what your career goals are. So thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.